my God, I love that song.
I know.
Welcome to season 2.
Welcome back, you guys.
Welcome back. I'm Paige.
And I'm Cindy.
And this is
Mom's the Word. Where mom knows best.
Or at least she is trying her best.
She is.
Today's episode is brought to you by
Kyte Baby. Oh my God. So we are excited. They're officially a sponsor of Mom's the Word podcast.
They are indeed.
So that is just so exciting. We're so thankful for them.
Yeah, genuinely. They're a woman-owned brand of bamboo pajamas, the most soft, buttery bamboo pajamas ever.
If you have not tried them, goodness gracious, they feel good on your bodies.
Oh my gosh, on your body, on your baby's body, on everybody's body. They have stuff from
even my husband's body. He loves them.
Amen. They have stuff from women's, men's, babies, kids,
blankets,
loungewear, sleepwear.
Oh, and their sleep sacks.
Yeah.
The best
like
sleep
those?
sacks. Yeah, Fox loves them.
I haven't used one yet.
I just feel like they're the right length for their children. It's like sometimes sleep sacks get really small and short. I want them a little longer, and those ones feel that way. And they're not heavy. They don't make them sweat. So.
Right. My kids sweat so much when they sleep, especially Boston. And in those, he does not get hot.
Right.
So we love them. We're so excited for this partnership.
Yeah.
It was absolutely perfect. So
Yes.
yeah, you guys go check out Kyte Baby.
We're like honored. So
We're going to be bringing you guys some exclusive stuff from them as well as we go on, getting to see new prints.
Yes. And over the next couple of weeks, you'll see me and Paige in some of them as we get the pajamas. We will be wearing them. I'm so excited.
Announcing all the drops, doing everything.
Yep.
We're so excited.
So excited.
We're so excited. Even more excited to be back
Oh my
in the new
gosh.
studio.
Yeah, so we're in a new studio. We had a
What
new
do y'all
intro
think?
song.
We have stands. How excited are y'all right now that I'm not holding the microphone? Everybody's so irritated by us holding the
Yeah,
microphone.
Paige holding that microphone. Everyone was like triggered.
Can you please get a stand? And I was like, it's my security blanket.
And the reason we didn't have stands was because Paige loved the microphone, like that she can be really intimate and like hold it. But I'm not good about speaking into the mic, and so this is probably better, hopefully, for me.
I've officially taken both my security blankets away, my microphone stand, and 11 inches of my hair.
She did. You guys.
I did
She's
chop
making
my
big
hair off.
changes this year.
I have been. I did a whole mental reset. I've been doing good.
And we're like, what, 12 days in of the new year?
We are.
How does it feel?
We are. It feels good. I think I like 2024 so far.
I haven't changed anything. Like everybody had all these goals, and I was like, yeah, I'm going to start maybe in a week.
I'm making bread. I'm making my own bread.
I'm making bread too.
It's a very popular trend on TikTok.
You guys making me laugh so much. She failed so hard at first. And I made my first loaf, and I'm like, oh, I'm literally, what did they call me? They called me Betty Hoffer. They were like, wow. Cindy Hoffer is Betty Hoffer. Anyways, Paige was cracking me up.
I made a ciabatta roll.
Yeah,
It was like this big. It was so small. And I've had multiple fails. I mean, I think it probably took me about 4 times to nail that bread. But by God, I was going to do it.
And you're so cute. You're like, my family still ate it, even though it was like so little, like the smallest little bread.
You know, somebody said you made communion bread. It was so small.
I cannot.
It just didn't rise. I didn't let it rise the second time. You know, you live and you learn.
You do.
In case you didn't know, if you have yeast, it goes in the fridge after you open it. I didn't know that. It says it directly on the can, but it was a dry ingredient.
It is. Following all of the like things you have to do. That's why people keep asking us, are you going to do sourdough next? And I'm like,
I don't like sourdough.
my ADHD.
I'm a weirdo
I
like that.
won't remember.
The
to,
sourdough
like,
starter.
feed it, discard it. I'm like, I don't
Yeah.
know. I want to try though. Okay.
I'm already feeding children.
That'll be February.
So, February.
Well, I go to Disney World. So
Are you excited about that?
I think when this airs, I'll be there. So
I've never been to Disney World.
yeah, we go quite a bit. But like people always ask me like, why, how do you go so much? And like, you guys just got to like find the deals, find the right times, or make payments.
Do you like going to Disney World? Because some people are like, it's not worth it. All you do is walk around.
No, and it's not for everybody, but I just really enjoyed it. I've gone since I was little, though. I used to go to Disneyland like every month.
That was
when
my
I
next
little.
question, is if you'd ever been to Disneyland.
Oh, yeah.
I've never been to either. Well, let me take that back. I went whenever I was 8 months old, as if I could remember that. But I would really love to go. I'm just waiting till Boston's just a little bit older so that he can really enjoy it. Maybe Juliet will be a little bit older, too. So.
I get that. People too, but like, your kids aren't going to remember. And I'm just like, well, some memories I want for myself. Like,
Yeah.
As parents, we also need good memories. And so I
Heck
feel
yeah.
like taking my kids, like I remember Bear at like 18 months there, and he loved it. Does he remember? No, but I loved it.
Right.
So taking Fox, it's going to be so fun. His first time there.
Fox. You want to talk about Fox?
Oh, little Fox is a year old now. So that's exciting. He turned a year in December, and I was emotional.
Right.
It's just always like, now it's like a almost like a sad, bittersweet, because like every birthday, and I was talking to Jay about this because he's adopted all his children too, and every year is going to feel emotional no matter what.
Right.
Because you're like, how blessed am I to take care of this baby? And it's such a weird thing. I can't even explain it. Like I woke up and I'm like, oh my God, I get this huge milestone. And so my baby.
He's so sweet.
Almost walking. He gets there,
So
then he's
close.
like, no.
He is the funniest crawl ever. And I know that you guys know if you have babies, whenever they crawl and they only use one leg and they like hitch the other one, that's what he does. And it is the funniest thing because he's fast. He's so fast. He was doing it last night. And I was like, that boy's gone. He was out of there. How are you doing with baby foster love? You have itty bitty girl still?
Yeah, itty bitty girl still. She's doing good.
Yeah.
She's getting big. 4 months old, almost. When this airs, she'll be 4 months old. So getting there. She's great though. She's almost sleeping through the night for me. So sleeping through the night for me is like 6 hours. So
yeah,
she's golden.
Yeah, Juliet's sleeping through the night. Well, she's teething currently. So my daughter is 9 months old, and she's currently teething, and it is a doozy.
It's crazy how different it hits kids. Like some don't affect at all, and then some are like. Yeah.
Couldn't have cared less. Her, like, it's affecting our nap times, it's affecting bedtime, it's affecting nursing. We're cluster feeding like no other. So it's just been exhausting. But you know, it's part of the part of the groove. It's just what you gotta do.
It and then you're like, okay, good.
I know. Her doctor, we went to her 9-month checkup, and her doctor looked over at my husband, who's a dentist, and was like, Dad, where are her teeth? Because she doesn't have any yet. And he was like, they're coming.
Oh, she's gonna get them all watched. That's probably what it is. She's like feeling all the aching pain.
I think she'll probably have 4 popping right at the same time because I can I'm feeling around on the gums and I'm like, they're close, sister.
It's like one of those things. Would you rather them all come in at the same time or go through it multiple times?
Oh, I would rather do it one and done. Give her a little bit of time.
I feel like teeth come in phases. Like they'll get sore for like a couple days, then they'll stop, and then they'll get sore for a couple days.
I can't imagine what it must feel like. I remember when my wisdom teeth started growing in, and that was painful. So.
I heard it's comparable to a toothache, so I'm assuming like, your like jaw hurts, your head hurts.
Absolutely, absolutely.
But another exciting thing is it's Paige's birthday, you guys.
Oh yeah, happy birthday to me.
She wore sparkly jammies just for this, which I love so much.
And so I wanted to be fancy for y'all. I'm 32. Actually, I'm 21 with 11 years of experience. But
what is it? 30, flirty, and thriving.
Period. I sure am. I don't know what I'm going to do different this year. I keep trying to think to myself, like, what does 32 look like for Paige? And I think that it's more just about focusing on my small circle and really nurturing that, because that's what I've done for like the last month. And I feel like I'm getting my pink back. Have you seen that video about the flamingos?
Yes.
Oh my gosh, it made me cry. People started tagging me in it over and over again about how
explain it. So I was like, maybe they haven't seen it.
Yes, so the flamingos, if you ever go to the zoo and you see a flamingo that is not as pink as the others, that is typically because that is a mother flamingo, and they give their pink away technically because they're giving all their energy and their nurture and their love to children, and so they start to turn more pink as their children get older and take care of themselves, and they don't have to. And so somebody was like, "You're getting your pink back, girl," and I was like,
so
how heartwarming. It's so nice. It's crazy.
I was going to say that too, like for this year, when you said like, what am I going to do this year? I was thinking like, you're in your like family era, like
I am.
Fully. Like what I'm going to do is with my family, but also take care of me for my family.
Yeah.
Because that's important.
Yeah.
So
I think for a while I was just so focused on content on TikTok and just trying to be what everybody wanted me to be.
Yeah.
And I lost myself in it, trying to make everybody else happy but myself. And I tried to take little mental breaks here and there, and I think it was very apparent to people that I was in a dark place. I look back at the videos of like our first episodes of the podcast, and I just look sad. I just look so sad to me. It feels like I'm just like this empty shell of a woman just talking about things. And I told this to Cindy last night. I was like, on our episodes, I don't want to trauma dump. I don't want to talk about life. And I have some really hard things still going on. I just don't care to talk about it anymore because it's like, it's not going to change anything to say it out loud.
I feel like that's like, it's hard because for a lot of the episodes, you gave us a part of you that not a lot of people knew about, right? And so, like, people would say, like, well, she's always trauma dumping on Cindy. But I don't see it that way. Like, I've always been a really good listener, and, like, I'm very understanding in things, even if I don't relate to them. And so, like, I just enjoyed hearing those things because I felt like you need to talk about them.
Yeah.
What's going to help? How can it help? You know, like, how can I help by listening, you getting it out there? Because if you don't, you're just going to keep, like, putting it in. And so.
Right. As well as we're still getting to know the darker sides of each other.
Right.
And we agreed to do it on this daggone podcast.
We did.
So it's crazy, but that's just who we are. As well as I think that you have to understand my parenting style by understanding my past.
Right.
Because it genuinely affects my parenting style to this day. And I think it will forever as I'm trying to break generational curses.
Absolutely.
So
It will.
it's a lot. It's heavy, but we're going to have fun. We're going to do fun things.
Speaking of your birthday, like I was wondering, like, do you have any like memories from when you were little that you really loved that you could like share? It doesn't have to be trauma dumping, okay?
I don't have any traumatic
Like something
birthdays.
you remember that you love. That's
Well,
good.
I guess I do. I have a couple where I was like sick for whatever reason because my birthday's right after Christmas. So you get Christmas break and then you go back to school, right? And then I would just be so sick like 2 weeks after, you know? So I
yes.
was always sick, but also my birthday falls right around Martin Luther King Day. So I also always had a day off for my birthday. So that was always nice.
People are
And
going to point out right now how she says birthday. I
Birthday?
literally can feel it.
what do
in
you
my
mean?
heart.
Birthday?
No, say it quickly.
Birthday. What the hell is wrong with the way I say birthday?
I'm not the only one who heard
What
this.
the hell's wrong with that way I say birthday?
She says
Listen, Ben.
Birthday.
birthday.
Ben.
Yeah, Ben heard
my
it.
birthday.
Ben heard it. And I'm like, someone's going to point out the page doesn't say birthday. She says birthday.
It's my birthday.
That's because she's from the South, y'all.
I am born and raised in Texas, believe it or not.
I'm also from the South, and I say it correctly.
Do you
think it's just a page thing, so.
Ben?
I thought it was so cute. She was, and my birthday.
Well, happy
I'm
birthday.
done. I'm packing up. We're
Everybody tell
leaving.
Paige, happy birthday,
Happy
Paige.
Goodbye.
birthday to you.
I would love it so
Hey,
much.
I have a question because
What?
Jay's in the studio too, so feel free, all three of you that are around me all the time. Is my accent fake?
no.
Do I just talk
Wait,
like
what?
this?
Yeah, when the camera's off, you're like, great show, guys. That was wonderful. We had such a lovely time filming. All right, I don't have to be this character anymore.
In my dreams.
No.
In my dreams.
I think that like everybody has like a customer service voice, and so like when I'm around you naturally, like when you're around your babies, oh, you definitely have an accent. Or like if you're talking really fast or telling a story,
If I get a little tips.
yeah, if you get a little tipsy,
That's when it's certainly coming
that's
out.
so odd. Look, but certainly, I love it so much. It's so cute. I wish I had it. Like I don't even want to mock you. I wish I was a Southern accent.
If y'all came around my family for 5 minutes, you would understand. Like, that's just how my family talks. And some people be like, I live in Texas and I don't talk like that. Okay. That's so great for you.
And it's not like every word. I think people are like you'll just talk normal, and then like there's something you'll talk about really quickly, and you'll have an accent. But I don't think it's.
I think it's
no.
my eyes.
Yeah, I don't.
Because I've always known I said right.
Well, she says birthday, so
My birthday.
I love it. Well, happy birthday, Paige, you guys.
Oh, my favorite memory.
Oh yeah, she didn't tell us.
My goodness, we get on.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt that, but I knew someone was going to comment.
So my stepmom used to make me a strawberry cake every year, and I loved that because I was not the chocolate or vanilla kind of girl. I always wanted strawberry or lemon.
I love a strawberry
So
cake.
I love a strawberry cake. And then I think my favorite birthday, I turned 13, and I got to take a few of my friends to Joe's Crab Shack.
Oh my god.
And they danced. We do the working at the car
Oh my
wash.
God.
I still have videos from it, and they made me. Okay, think about those water dispensers that have the cones that you put water in. They made me put one of those on my mouth, like a beak, and take to-go boxes like they were wings. And
you have a
fly,
video of this?
Yes.
Ben needs to enter
fly
it in there.
around the
We need video proof.
fly around the damn Joe's Crab Shack like I was a bird while they sang happy birthday to me. And then my aunt had I want to say it's like a 2001 white Ford Mustang convertible. And I thought it was the
Ooh,
coolest
so cool.
got on the
So
planet.
cool.
It's January 16th, baby. It's cold, okay? And I was like, put the top down. We got to ride. We were all in the back seat, like,
Freezing.
but it was the best time of my life. So that's probably my favorite birthday was that. Because my Aunt Denise is one of those people who would just like do whatever she can to make a child happy. I always wanted to be very much like her.
I love that.
She's the ultimate host. She always hosts everything. She's always giving to people. If you know my Aunt Denise, shout out Aunt Denise. She's an incredible human, incredible. So I really do try to be like her. And I just thought she was just the bee's knees in that damn convertible. So
No, that was the epitome of a 13th birthday.
it was perfect.
A fancy restaurant.
Oh my God, Crab Shack, please.
Come on.
I
I
had to
love
drive
that
an
so
hour
much.
for that.
Now, what's your birthday looking like this year?
We're gonna make vision boards.
We are.
We're gonna make vision boards, and we're gonna have charcuterie, and we're also gonna do the plate trend where you take a glass plate and write all the things that you're done with and break it
Saying goodbye to.
in a plastic bag because I'm not going to break glass everywhere.
Absolutely not.
I want to put it. Look, Ben's rolling his eyes. It's.
Coward.
Oh my gosh.
Ben,
It's so that I
what if
don't
we couldn't get all
litter.
the glasses up?
Yeah. I'm doing it outside.
So you have to figuratively break the plate.
Yeah.
And then the process of cleaning it up is truly you disposing of it. Are you willing to get all the crumbs of that out of your life?
Oh, dang.
And that's too. See now, what do we do?
What is he doing to my brain? I'm trying to be good
We can
to the
vacuum
environment.
outside.
I'm not putting glass in my vacuum.
That's what I'm saying. How would we clean up it?
Have you guys ever used a broom before? Have you heard of that? It's like a long
It
pole
gets
that
in the-
has bristles on the end of it. And you can,
I'm done with him.
A broom?
I'm done. I'm done.
What?
Ben, you're going to come clean it up.
We're gonna clean up the plate, you guys. We're keeping it in a bag, okay?
Yeah.
That's what Paige says. I'm not getting glass everywhere. Second of all, my kids are gonna be there.
Yup.
And Jay's kids and Paige's kids. We don't need glass in little toes, okay?
Yup.
Ben's living crazy. He has a broom. We don't.
He's apparently got super broom over here.
He has one of them Costco brooms. What a Home Depot brooms.
little push broom.
Yeah.
I also have 5 children, so they can make sure that
This is true.
I'll get them on their hands and knees and they can feel around for glass.
Benjamin.
I'm kidding. I would never do that. I'm a great parent. I clean up my messes.
Hashtag canceled.
Let me write down the timestamp for that.
Yeah, he's gonna be editing the heck out of that part. Oh my god. So one of the trends I've been loving around TikTok is what's in and what is out. Like I have been obsessed with like hearing what people are saying in and out.
Yeah.
It's basically like what you want to keep in 2024 and what we're getting rid of.
Heck yeah.
Do you have anything that you want to keep? I also have a list, so I'm gonna go through that. I'm excited.
Like off the top of my head.
Yeah.
My self-care routine.
Self-care in general,
Mastered
right?
it. Yeah. I've mastered my routine of feeling better when I need a reset. Long walks outside. They've been helping me so much to just get outside, even if it's for 10 minutes. Just walk around your block. Just that fresh air, the sun a little bit, just helps so much.
Oh yeah, I agree.
Jay's over in the corner opening some sunflower seeds as loud as he possibly can.
Ever since Jay showed up, there's always segments of every episode I have to cut out because you can hear
Literally,
TikToks
Jay.
in the background. You can hear him laughing in the background. You can.
He said, I just
No,
want
Jay's
y'all to know
great.
I'm
Jay's
here.
wonderful.
So in general, like parenting trends that I'm seeing that like are like more vintage thrift store. Like
Yeah.
how many moms
You
are
do
thrifting?
that.
Oh, I've always thrifted. I just never have shared because I'm like, I didn't think people would be interested. But then I've been seeing everybody else, and I've shared periodically over the last couple of years. But I thrift a lot.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah,
A
And
lot, a
so
lot.
we go like once or twice a week.
mean, you
I've
have
done
a
it
lot
since
of
I was a
foster
kid.
kids.
Well, I don't thrift just because of that.
I'm like, you got a lot of kids to buy for, man. I get it.
They're gonna be like, well, she also goes to Target and Walmart. No, but we just like to like find really interesting things. And don't get me wrong, I like to buy toys and stuff from there too.
Yeah.
But my husband likes to find things and like he does reselling on the side sometimes. Random. It's random.
My teenager wants to go because he's really into 90s fashion right now. So he's like really wants to go get some fun
I just
items.
really like it. And I've been enjoying seeing other moms. Go
You'll have to
find
tell me where you go thrifting.
stuff. Like I found all those Love Every toys and I was like, oh my God, this is a score.
Really?
Fox loves that.
That is such a score. I've had
Yeah.
the Love Every toys since Boston was like 0 to 3 months. That first box that they send you, I've gotten them for 4 years. I mean, I even
I would
resubscribed
love-
for Juliet. They're incredible.
Yeah, I would love to subscribe to those.
Mm-hmm.
Now that Fox has played with some of the toys, I'm like, these are actually really nice.
Yes, they are.
So I might look into that for
yeah,
this year. For him.
yeah, they're really nice.
So another thing I've seen like is that last year that was in, it's also going to be in this year. And I know you're one of the people who do celebrate this, is like celebrating our kids' smaller milestones. So
Yeah.
like people get upset over like Valentine's Day baskets or whatnot. And
Right.
So
They think it's too much.
I think it's still going to be in, but like, because I've seen a lot of like end of school parties for your kid, like celebrating that back to school. And so I think us parents, especially millennial parents, are celebrating those smaller milestones a lot
Yeah.
more because the world is really scary right now.
Right, I'm making
And so-
every moment special that I can.
Exactly.
I want them to look back on their childhood and not think, oh, my mom just did everything all the time. But like, man, she really made every moment special for us. She really made every holiday something
Yes.
exciting. And it doesn't have to be extreme. You
No.
don't have to, it's not like Christmas every single time, but a coloring book and a sweet little heart candy, that just could make their whole day. And
I
I,
just
want to
really
be
like
that
that.
mom.
Yeah.
You know?
I think that's really sweet, like celebrating those.
Speaking of end of school parties. I have a senior graduating this year.
And back to back though. So
Back
one
to back.
go.
I have a junior who's also going to be graduating next year. So we will have back to back seniors. I feel like I'm just going to be crying for the next 2 years.
She literally is.
Oh my gosh, just crying so much. I mean, I've known those boys since they were 9 and 10. They were so little. So now to see them turning into adults and applying for colleges and getting their first girlfriends, and
Yikes.
yikes.
Yeah,
It's terrifying and exciting, and I just have to trust that we have instilled good into them and given them the tools to be a good person, and now it's up to them to use those tools,
right. So far, I think you are. I'm around her teenagers, and they're really kind and respectful.
Man.
You get to see the hard times with them, obviously.
Of course.
But from an outsider, I feel like people would say your children are very respectful. And so
absolutely.
that's what you want.
Yeah,
you know?
I would agree. And they're both fantastic. But to hit on, Vance is one of the funniest people I've ever been around in my life. Just the things that he says, his charisma, his humor. He's just so quick and witty and captivates the room that he's in. And so it's going to be really exciting to watch them both grow and see what they do in life. It's so strange to be in the place of, I have a 9-month-old and almost an 18-year-old. He'll be 18 in just a couple of weeks. So it's just such a weird dynamic to
really
have
is.
a baby and a senior, but it's beautiful. At the same time, I wouldn't trade it for anything. Not for a single thing.
I love that.
So we're going to have a lot of big fun parties this year. I'm excited.
Celebrating them all.
Yeah, and we're going to make it special.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I just broke a nail. Oh
knew
my
that was gonna
Jesus.
happen.
Guess what? I brought glue.
So I made a list on Instagram what people are saying is still in.
Okay.
So,
See if we agree or not.
but yeah, we're going to see if we agree. So people are saying this year in is no more sleepovers ever. Someone
Ever?
said. No sleepovers.
Ooh. Ever is a hard one for me, depending on who they are. I do agree to a certain extent. Like my daughter, I don't feel like I would send her out because I do feel like the statistics say a lot of the times it's either somebody in your family or like a brother of a friend, and so
You'll send your boys?
no, just no, because it could happen either way. So
So
it's
I'm a
just
no
like,
sleepovers.
Really?
Yeah. So when I went to sleepovers, they were horrible.
Really?
And I had a good time, but I just felt like I learned a lot more things that I shouldn't have learned at sleepovers from, older siblings or my friends who had older siblings. And so I just feel that my children probably will not go to sleepovers.
I think with my family, I would. Like my cousins, and stuff like that, I feel like I would be fine with.
Yeah.
I'm not in that place yet, so I don't know how
I'm not
I'll
either.
feel.
So I'm not saying a hard no, but me and Chris have talked about it.
Yeah.
And it's just something that I don't think it's necessary. We can stay there till 11 o'clock at night, let you party it up, but we can go home for bed.
Right.
I just don't feel comfortable with that. And the statistics going around right now with how many things happen
Yeah.
at them is terrifying.
That's what's scary. I do know what you're talking about with that, so that's why I'm like, I don't know. I don't know. That's a hard place to be in because I think you would really have to trust the person that you're sending your child with, and that can be
Even then,
that can be scary to me. So
you're just not aware of what they're hearing or seeing, and it's not necessarily. Let's say it's not the most traumatic thing they're going to see, but they might be things you don't approve of, right?
oh yeah, I mean I was drinking Smirnoff on the back of a porch with a friend at like 15. So.
Well, even let's say something simple, right? Like the parents go and smoke cigarettes. That's their prerogative, right? But at our home, we don't do that. And so I would like to be there for those conversations.
Yeah.
That's mainly what it is. I want to be the one to have those important conversations, not anybody else. And so and Bear's 7, so he's getting interested in hanging out with friends later and stuff. And I'm just like, let's
maybe not.
maybe not. But again, as he gets older, we may cross that road. But as of now, we are a no-go.
Right, when they get a little bit more responsible, I suppose. Because Vance is 16, and he doesn't care to do sleepovers.
Yeah.
He'll have them, but he wants them at our house. He
Yeah.
wants his friends to come to our house instead.
And see, that's great, right?
Yeah,
I'm
because
you
I know
guys-
where they are. I know what you're doing. I know where
Right.
you are. I know what you're talking about. So that's different. And we kind of are that safe house. I feel
Yeah.
like Vance wouldn't want to go somewhere else anyways. He always brings
I
his
love
friends
that so
over.
much.
We
Yeah.
joke that Mark is like the 3rd most popular kid at Vance's school because literally the kids will leave the student section during football games to come sit next to Mark.
But you too. Like you walk in and they're like, "Oh, Positively Paige is here."
Yes.
You guys know that age. They think it's so cool to have a lot of followers. And we're just like, please don't say our names.
I'm like,
on here.
hello, I'm just Paige. Hello, nice to see you. But it's fun for Vance specifically because he just loves to show it off. So
So the next ones that are in, I think, are great, and I agree with. So apologizing to your kids,
amen.
that needs to be in
Accountability is all the way around the
Right.
board. And I know for a fact that there are some times where I'm overstimulated and I
Absolutely.
snap and I'm like, I could have handled that better.
Yeah.
And it's as easy as just being like, hey, I'm so sorry.
Yeah, to me, it's just more like addressing what happened, because
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, if you let it go, your kids are like, dang, they were just mean the whole time. But if you apologize, like, hey, I snapped, my
Mm-hmm.
emotions got the best of me, it helps them to feel a little bit better.
Well, and I think it also helps them to understand that they need to take accountability whenever they feel like that
Absolutely.
too, because
Yep.
they're not perfect by any means. They'll definitely have those moments.
Yes.
So yeah, I agree with that one.
All right, more getting outside, and you see that like 1,000 hours outside is huge, which I think
I
it has
can't do
been.
that. Did you divide that?
So-
Have you actually looked at how many hours you have to be outside if it's 1,000?
So we are trying it because we do spend a lot of time outside, especially because like we homeschool, and so we are lucky that a lot of our groups are outside. Like we'll just sit at a park for like 4 hours, and so
Yeah.
like I do get out a lot, but it is a lot. Especially like you think about today, my kid's not used to 20-degree weather,
Right.
But we are outside a lot, so we are attempting it. There would be I don't think we're going to come close, but it just makes me like kind of aware.
I'm gonna say it's damn near 3 hours a day.
And I have to get Bear
Yeah.
out. All my kids, but Bear specifically, he's the oldest. He is like, we homeschool, so I don't want him in the house all day.
Yeah.
And we don't live in the country or anything, so we have to get out. They're like, you're always out. I'm like, oh, I have to get out.
Well, it
So
keeps them busy.
I'm gonna attempt it, but I'm not gonna like track it that much.
I think I could do 500. I don't think I could do
That's a
1,000.
good goal, though.
Yeah, that's
Because
what
you
I
do want to get outside more.
I do.
That's a great goal.
And I'm bad about getting outside, you guys. Like, if I could stay in the house all the time, I would. I would never leave. Mark is like the kind that he wakes up and if he's there for more than 30 minutes and he hasn't gone on a morning walk, he's like
me.
antsy
I like to be out
and
of the
gets
house.
anxiety, and he'll turn mean if like he can't get out because it's like he's overstimulated and he just needs an outlet. So me, I'm like, I will lay in this bed till I die. I will watch Netflix and not do a thing.
I like to be out, and then I like to nap for 2 hours, and then I
Yeah.
like to be out. And like Paige will be like, "Where are you at?" And even Jay will be like, "You're never home." He told me this funny saying the other day. I can't even remember it, but he's like, "It means you're always somewhere. Like you're never home," and I'm never home. Like I love to be. I like to do all the things.
I'm at home or at Target or at Sam's.
So attempt how many hours you think you should do. But
I think I could do 500.
I feel like 365 would be good.
Ooh.
Like that's a good goal. Like an
Yeah,
hour a
an
day. And if let's
hour
say
a
you can't
day.
do it one day, hit 2 hours the next day. 365 sounds like really reasonable.
Okay, I'll try that.
You know what I mean? Like
I'll
that
do it.
sounds pretty reasonable to me.
Yeah.
Okay, do a couple more, and then we'll go to the what is out.
I like these.
I know. I thought they were really cute. Okay, do you want to read a couple?
Yeah, heck yeah.
So these are what we're keeping in 24. We're not getting rid of it.
Ooh, breaking generational curses. Absolutely.
That's staying in.
That's staying in. That'll never
staying
go
in.
out. It's such a hard thing to do, genuinely, because setting your boundaries with people in your life that have hurt you is hard to do, especially when you love them. Because I have boundaries with certain people in my life that I genuinely love, and I don't want to get rid of them in my life. But if they cross that line, I have to, for my own sake, my own peace. I have to.
You have to.
So it's hard to do. It's easier said than done.
And I think that's why it's something that's going to stay in, because we're going to keep working towards that. And it's hard
Yeah.
because you're also fighting your own trauma. A lot of people are, and so. But I just feel like we're trying to be better parents.
Yeah, we're doing our best.
Yeah.
That's what matters. Holding my son as much as he needs it. I'm all down for that. I have a Velcro baby. I do. She does not want to be put down, and I'm fine with it. You know why? Because I don't know how long I'll be able to pick her up. I don't know how long I'll be able to push her into my shoulders and cuddle her and snuggle her and be able to take in all of her. I already can hardly pick up Boston.
Yeah.
You know, as he's so big and long, it changes. And there's a meme that just messes me up where it's like, one day you'll pick up your kid
literally
for the
was just
last
thinking that.
time and you won't know.
remember.
Neither of you will know that it was the last time. And I'm just like,
I literally think that some nights when Bear's like, "Can you carry me to bed?" And he's big. Bear's
Yeah.
a big, tall kid now, and I'm like, "Okay." So like, I will pick him up like Bear hugged,
Yeah.
and I will do it because I'm just like, there's gonna be a time that I cannot, and it's
Yeah.
gonna come quick for him.
Yeah.
Because he's so big, and so I do love that. And I have like little babies, and they all need my attention. It's hard sometimes to be like, okay, you, but I do love that.
I love that that's a trend because, like, I don't know if I'm not on Instagram right now or anything right now, but like, I was thinking about the way that I hug my kids and my wife, and I was like, I'm just gonna hug them
until they let go. Like
love
I'm gonna hug them until they're
that.
done with it. So like my
Yes.
son Henry, he got hurt doing, he's Henry, he gets hurt, but he was just like, I just need a daddy hug, and I was like, oh, okay, buddy, and I crouched in the hallway and hugged him for like 8 minutes. He just like
That's so
stayed
cute.
on me.
You're
And
never
then-
supposed
You'll
to let
never
go.
forget that. Though.
Yeah, and at the end he was like, thank you, daddy.
Yeah, it's so
And the same with my wife. Like, she was having a rough day a couple days ago because she's pregnant, third
Yeah.
trimester.
Yeah.
We're going, and I stood up from my computer. I was working on something. I just hugged her, and I was like, I'm gonna stay here until she's done. And it was like so healing. It was so
Yeah.
great. And so like that's with my daughter, with all my all my kids. I love that. Yeah, hug them until they're done.
Yeah.
You don't have anything more important than hugging them. I promise you.
Y'all
Genuinely.
send that to your husbands, y'all, because that is really nice, Ben, as a reminder, because them kids need them long hugs. And don't let go until they let go. I love that.
And you do, moms
yeah.
and dads. You need the long hugs too. You just
Yeah.
don't realize it.
And I think that offers a really different perspective too from a dad, because I think that men often are not the affectionate ones
Go
that
to your mom
want
or
to
mom
be
hug.
held on
Yeah.
to, you know, where it's like, I don't like to be touched and hugged. Like Cindy will tell you, like it's very hard. I hugged Ben today and Cindy, whenever they came in, they both were like, what the fuck? Yeah, because I'm not that girl. I didn't get cuddled and hugged a lot as a kid. And so I'm just not used to that type of affection, and it can be smothering to me. And that's hard because my husband's love language is physical touch. Yeah. So he needs that side of me in order to feel like he's being loved. And I am acts of service all day. You do the dishes, come on, let's go to the bedroom. Like, that's the kind of woman I am. Yeah. So it's just knowing your partner's love language in that sense. If they are physical touch, that can be so special. That can be just so special.
Yeah, that was such a good reminder.
Yeah. Ooh, I think Ben and Cindy will have some comments about this one in homeschooling.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
they
an
both
in.
homeschool. It is.
That is an in. So that is actually huge.
Yeah.
So like I've gotten so many messages about I want to do it now. I want to do it now.
I'm considering it because of you two, which is crazy.
And the reasoning is so like wide range. Like I have people who are just afraid of what's going on in the world, want to protect their kids.
Absolutely.
To my kids not getting the attention they need at school. And so like I'm here for it. Like as y'all know, I had to pull Bear. Bear was only at school for like 2 months, but I still, to me, it is what's best for that child, your family, and it has been really great. So I'm glad that's it.
Yeah, I love that. It's hard, but it's like, you know, a lot of people say, well, there's no way, like, we can't lose the income. And I'm like, just figure it out. Because, like, I was literally below the poverty line living on food stamps for several years as my ex-wife and I went through our divorce. And, you know, I was fighting for that joint custody and everything like that to homeschool my kids. And if I had just put my kids in a public school, I could probably, I'd probably be a millionaire right now. My company would be like 7 locations deep. But what does that mean for my kids? You know, it's extremely inconvenient.
At what cost?
Yeah, it's extremely inconvenient to homeschool your kids, but it's not near as inconvenient as losing them completely, losing them to the culture. Because the culture, I didn't chime in on the sleepover thing, but we don't do that, and we're never going to do that because everybody says like, oh, it's always been this bad. We're just hearing about it now, and it's not true. It's getting worse.
Yeah.
The amount of abuse that we're seeing is getting worse, and people are becoming more and more depraved for whatever reason. And you have a responsibility as a parent to protect your child. Parenting is not about you. It's about your child.
That's the truth.
And so homeschooling is so difficult. And a lot of people, the one thing I hear is people like, I'm not smart enough.
I'm not. That's my
guess
fear.
What?
That's
I'm
not
not.
it
Guess
at all.
what? Open a book.
Yeah.
If you're teaching your kids, you can teach yourself. And that's be 3 lessons ahead of your kids.
Yep.
You know, my wife, she's brilliant. It's
Shout
fun.
out
It's
Amanda.
fun. Yeah, Amanda, she's amazing. You know,
She's
I love her.
gorgeous.
She's gorgeous.
She's
She's
an amazing
pregnant.
photographer.
She's beautiful.
She does
yeah,
it
she's,
all.
Yeah.
She's crazy. And we just got 2 new chickens yesterday. Very exciting.
They're homesteaders,
It's
y'all.
so fun watching her learn history with the kids, and like. I love history. If we have a history episode, it's going to be 18 hours long.
That
And we
would
go into
be you and
everything.
Mark.
Yeah. Me and Mark will talk about everything. Okay. I got an 800-page book about World War II right now that I'm going through. It's
my
awesome.
God.
But like she's learning too.
His Roman
She's learning
Empire.
about history. She's learning about, you know, she jokes about like she can't teach her son math because he's progressed beyond her on mathematics. But it's like you can learn. You're teaching your kids, you can teach yourself. And like we're learning constantly. If you're on TikTok, if you know about this trend right now, guess what? You learned it on TikTok. You can learn
Have
math.
you seen the new category on TikTok that just says STEM?
Yeah, I
I'm
have
not
it.
on
And you
TikTok, so
just-
Yeah, he's not. And you can learn all kinds of things.
You can learn all sorts of stuff on this one
Yeah.
We're always
slide. And the
learning.
For You
Yeah.
page is only STEM related.
Yeah.
It's
I don't
so
know if people
good.
know this, but the internet is literally the Library of Alexandria. You can learn literally anything. Anytime my truck makes a weird noise, I Some dude on a forum in 2007 went through the
Literally
same
knows it.
thing, and
That's true.
I've probably saved myself 5 figures fixing my truck myself. Like, if you're only using the internet for entertainment, you are misusing the greatest tool in the world.
Yeah.
And so, if it's the same for homeschool, learn and teach
I
your
agree.
kids, and you can give them the individual attention. And also, I
Yes.
know my kids like the back of my
Yes.
hand. I know
Yes.
Ayla and William and Henry. I know my stepsons. Like, I have schooled them, and like, it is in, and it should stay in.
Yeah, and it is hard. Like we definitely are with our kids. I'm with my kids all day, but like the good outweighs any of that. And like I feel at the end of the day, I feel so lucky of how much more time I'm getting to spend with them. And like you said, like I'm homeschooling right now. My son's in 2nd grade, and so like there's even things that I refresh myself on that I know, but you still have to refresh yourself on, like teaching it properly. Plural synonyms, things like that. Simple, but you're just gonna relearn it real quickly for your kid. And so like another thing that like Ben brought up is like some people they can't afford it, which I totally understand, right? But I was telling Jay about this, that don't think you need to homeschool your kids at 8 a.m. like the school. Let's say you need to work an 8 to 5. You can homeschool from 6 to 7 p.m., 8 p.m. You can homeschool outside. Like you don't have to follow any timeline you wanted to do. You can homeschool Saturday, Sundays, and be off Tuesday, Wednesday with your kids. Like you make your schedule. And so, like, I just feel like that's something people forget. Like, you're not copying what the school looks like. Our homeschool looks nothing like what he did at elementary school. And so you make it look what your family looks like. Y'all stay up late, do school late, let your kids sleep in the morning. So it's just very, adjustable, basically.
And it's not inferior.
What do you feel like is the hardest part of homeschooling?
For me, it's not having a break. Homeschooling him is not hard. It's not. And I have kids of all ages. Like I have a newborn, a 1-year-old. And so to me, it's that I'm with them all the time because he does great. And I work at his pace, you get him play. But to me, it's that I'm with them 24/7. And I love that. But I also like to have a little independence. So the hardest part is that you don't get a break. Like, some parents like see their kids at school for the 8 hours a day as a break. We all need it. So I don't get that. But the homeschooling itself isn't hard. You can find free resources and everything. So.
What about you, Ben?
That's tough. This sounds so self-righteous, and I apologize for it. I love being a dad. So spending all that time with like 5 kids, Amanda's worried, like, what are you going to do when there's an infant? How are you going to take care of me and the infant? I'm like, I'm just going to do it because I love it. Like, I'm so excited to wake up and like have my newborn son right there. I mean, he's crying. Is he poopy? Is he hungry? Does he need love?
Have
And I'm
we
just
said
so
it's a
excited.
boy yet? Did you just drop that
shit.
it's a boy?
I think I'm allowed to. I'll check. I'm gonna write this timestamp down.
Cannot. If
But
he
I'm
cannot.
I'm pretty sure as long as I just don't like blast the name, it'll be okay. But yeah, we're having a boy. I think everybody knows that. I think the hardest part of homeschooling is the like comparison game and imposter syndrome, which I
Oh
don't
my
typically do that.
gosh.
But I worry. Like I'm like my daughter's reading now. She's reading comic books and she loves it. But I'm like when she was 4 or 5, I was like, man, I'm looking at some kids who are reading at like 3, and I'm like, she should be doing that. And so I had to get out of my head and like it.
Oh, yeah.
And it's my ex-wife. She also would like she's concerned, want to make sure that they're on par with people in their grade level, and it's like
Other
we're not
people's-
doing that.
Yeah.
Like we're educating our kids. We're not copying public school.
exactly.
We're doing something better. So like breaking out of that mindset, and also just like giving myself grace, and then get like my daughter. She is like a carbon copy of me, and it's terrible.
Watch
because
out, world.
when you see something in your children that makes you viscerally angry, it's because you're looking in a mirror. So you need to check yourself. She would get so mad at herself for not knowing how to read immediately. Get mad at herself for like confusing B and D. And
Oh my God, Bear gets like that.
Yeah, and it's like, dude, it's okay. Have you ever learned this before? But you have to have the same grace for yourself as a parent because like you are blazing a trail. You're homeschooling your kid. You're doing, for most people, that is breaking a generational curse.
It is.
A lot of us got screwed up in public school. My life was great until I went to public school. And then my rebellious streak just exploded, and I was indoctrinated by ideas and mindsets and attitudes that my parents...
And then our parents don't agree with them because they're like,
Yeah.
you had a great elementary school. I'm like, are you sure? Like,
my mom hates that I went to public school. She regrets putting me in.
I
Oh,
learned
yeah.
a lot of things I shouldn't have known.
my dad
at
doesn't
school.
understand about the homeschooling.
Yeah.
He thinks like, oh, he's going to be behind. And I'm just like, that's not how it works. Like,
While we're chilling over here, we have a little something for you.
Uh-oh.
And Amanda.
Is it bacon?
No, I'm so sorry. But we wanted to get you a Kyte
Oh, my
Baby.
God.
Look at this little tiny thing.
Oh, my God.
For
He's going
the
to be so
hush
cute in
little-
that.
But we
I think
certainly
I've seen
could
Amanda
not,
on the website in that color, or maybe she was in blue.
Yeah, she's gonna do a backflip.
Well, we certainly could not send you out to the hospital.
Oh my god!
Hospital
Without
matching
matching
jammies.
We're gonna have to take
You
a photo
and
together.
Mama.
Oh my god! And they're Kyte Baby,
They're
right? This is
Kyte
that company,
Baby.
Kyte Baby. That's that wonderful company that we love so much.
I asked Amanda, what colors are you feeling for the baby? And she was like, green, anything
You know
green.
she's gonna look gorgeous in that green.
Oh my
Her
god,
hair.
she looks.
Her
She
hair?
is so like she's so. As all pregnant women are, she's so hard on herself, and she's like, "I'm just a balloon," and I'm like, if you were sitting at a table and nobody could see your stomach, nobody would know you're pregnant. She is only
she's
carrying
gorgeous.
in her, and she's such a beautiful. She's beautiful beyond words and beyond belief, but she's the most beautiful pregnant woman I've ever seen in my life, and she's just like radiant and glowing. And it's so funny because she'll be like in her bathrobe, exhausted, and she's the most beautiful thing I've ever seen. And she's like, "I'm sorry, I'm tired all the time." I'm like, "Shut up, dude! I love you. You're
love that
growing
Ben
my
hypes-
child, dude. What are
hypes
you
up his
talking
wife.
about?"
Period.
Oh my god!
So we're glad about all these ins. We could go on for homeschool for so long, you guys. Me and Ben
There's
love
so
it.
many ins on there we
Yeah.
could go
So we're
on.
gonna go switch to outs because there's so many more ins. Like there's so many ins. So let's do like a couple outs and then we'll.
Let's say, are there more outs?
There's a lot of outs. Like these are outs.
Woo!
So a few things that people have already said are out is going to be sad beige parenting, sad beige kids. And so I laughed at that one when someone put that because there's a lot of moms who are into sad born, like sad beige. What that means is you just like neutral colors, you guys. I had to learn this too. They, as their babies were newborn, they were into that. And then as they got older, they're like, yeah, we got to get some real toys or something. But I am definitely the colorful mother. So
I saw somebody the other day was talking about how they're a beige mom and they're happy about it. She was like, your kid's overstimulated. We have like a bunch of colors and stuff. It just tickles me because it's like everybody's different. You know, I like a happy medium. Don't get me wrong. I love me a little beige outfit, but my child wants to play with Bluey and Paw Patrol and, you know, the things. And he's only so young for so long. And if that's what piques his interest, I feel like
yeah,
that's
I mean,
what I'm going to
I
give
think
him.
they're beautiful. All the like
Gorgeous.
like, colors, but nah, my house is weird colorful.
Yeah, you are a rainbow. When you walk in, there's literally a rainbow tapestry in the playroom. So I
Yeah.
think that it's, you know, yeah, I'd agree. That's probably
I
out.
learned about the sad beige mom word last week. Amanda told me about it. Before that, I just called them like pastel women because like it's all pastel colors. They all have the same clay earrings that are a pastel rainbow with 3 colors. It's like brown, brown, and brown. And
I can see them in
you
my
know
head.
exactly what I'm talking about. And like every small jewelry maker makes the same exact pastel earrings in different pastel. And it's just
Their
like
Stanleys are all beige.
Their Stanleys are all, but it's
Me with a cream Stanley and
Jay
Jay
Stanley.
over there with his face.
Exactly.
hiding his
Look at my Stanley.
Which, hey, Stanleys are great cups. Don't get me wrong.
I can't get the
phenomenal.
freaking lid off.
Yeah.
Oh,
Why do
really?
I have to fight?
put it in the
like a
freezer. You gotta put it in the
sumo
freezer
wrestler?
sometimes.
I'd be like,
Yeah.
Anyways,
get it
let's
off.
beige. Beige.
beige.
Did you just call me beige?
And then beige. Beige.
Beige.
Beige.
That's-
Ben,
yeah.
tell us what you feel about sad beige moms. What else?
God.
I love how involved Ben is.
I know.
I know. I apologize. I feel like I'm overstepping.
No,
I apologize.
please
I'm like this.
don't.
I'm like, you guys whip me and tell me to, be quiet and not talk.
need a
when
camera
we're
on
off
him
camera.
next time.
So yeah, I think I had a buddy call me a year and a half ago. His name's, I'm gonna plug him, Alex Mueller. He's a wonderful guy. He worked for me at my coffee shop.
All right. Shout out
He
Alex.
is one of Amanda's childhood friends. Great guy. Greatest guy
I
I ever
think
know.
I know who you're
And
talking
he
about.
called me one day and he's like, this was random. He hadn't worked for me for like 6 months. He called me. He's like, hey, am I an NPC? And I was, if you guys don't know what that is, that's a non-player
Non-player
character in video.
character.
I was like, what do you mean? He's like, I was just at a coffee shop and I was just enjoying coffee and I was looking around and there's like 8 people dressed like me. Like the big slouchy beanie, the long gray, like long sleeve shirt. He's like, am I an NPC? And I was like, this is a phenomenon that I talk about. We are all products of an algorithm. Like we all get pushed a particular clothing. We all get pushed a particular like aesthetic. And because humans are naturally inclined to join some sort of like-minded hive, sad beige moms is like the hive that a lot of women join. It got really popular because it's really neutral. And it is a dissociation from the overstimulation. Like it's 2 extremes, I think. And I think
think it's
nobody
2
nobody is capable, I think, of disengaging from an extreme and landing in a moderation. They have to go from one extreme to the other, and then even when I edit video, I'll bump contrast all the way up and all the way down, and I'll find in between what works best. Highlights, shadows. So like that's what people do. And sad beige mom provided an outlet to get away from the overstimulation, from the cocoa melon, from all that stuff.
Yeah.
Now people are finding their way towards the middle, and we'll see
I love
subcultures pop up along the way that it's a spectrum, right? And so here's Sad Beige Mom, here is Coco Melon Mom, iPad crazy, all that stuff. And people will find their home
Hopefully in the middle.
spectrum. Yeah. Or whatever. I mean, like Paige said, whatever works for you. You know what I mean?
I'm in the middle. I'm not Sad Beige. I'm more like 22 colorful moo-moos stage.
You know, I like the whole, like, I'm a crunchy mom, but we're going to get French fries. Or, you know, like, I'm going to use this. But
I'm
gonna
never
do this
one
too.
way.
I'm not either.
Like, maybe today I might be something and tomorrow I might be something else.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, it's kind of like.
All things in moderation. It's like for you New Year's people doing diets, all things in moderation. Like you can't go from one extreme to the other and be successful. You know, we're very anti-dye, very anti-artificial colors.
That is big. That's in this year. Is
I love
no
that.
dyes. That's on the list.
Anti-dye too.
That's what my whole
We are
company's
also
about. Yeah.
anti-dyes.
And that is very hard because Boston loves Doritos.
Oh no, there's a
My
good one
dude
that came out.
loves Doritos. I'll have to figure that
That
out.
late July brand. It's so
If
good.
he sees the Doritos bag, keep in mind my child is on the spectrum, so there are certain things that he will fixate on, and
Doritos is one of
he
them.
will fight you. Much harder than my will.
You know what
to
my
fight.
problem is having is that like I'll just grab something because I'm used to just grabbing
Yeah.
it, and it'll be something that's literally like not the color, and it'll be like all these dyes, and I'm like, what?
Yeah.
But there's like companies are changing so much.
Yeah.
Because they're noticing.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like if all the holiday stuff, for instance, that came out right now for Valentine's Day,
Mm-hmm.
most of it does not have the dyes. So they're
wild.
they're like,
Yeah.
okay, these moms aren't buying, and they're our biggest seller.
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
that's incredible. Whatever we can do to keep our kids.
Well,
But sometimes it's okay to have a lollipop that has red 40 in it.
you know,
Just
every once in a while.
Yes.
We went through this big Christmas light display on Christmas evening with our kids, and they gave us suckers at the end.
Yep.
Yep.
My kids were like, "Oh, Dad, these have dye in them," and I was like,
Yep.
It's been a great year. Just have it.
Yeah.
You're okay. It's not going to rot
Yep.
your brain.
Exactly.
We'll detox you in a week. I
The
promise."
chemicals taste
But
good.
listen, if you go on and paint your baby Christmas tree a tan color, did you see that girl?
No.
No.
Jane knows what I'm talking about. You know those little tight Christmas trees that have like the balls in them? They're like bright green. You do know what they are. It's
Sad beige Christmas
Do
tree.
you
she
know what-
painted it so it matched her aesthetic in her
Not
house.
seen this, but
Oh,
that's-
like spray painted it.
Yes, and she made like brown balls. And did it look cute in her brown house? Yes, it did. But I was thinking like, dang, her kid's not even going to get to see all these primary
Not
color
even the
balls.
real Christmas. Dang.
Oh my God, I can't believe she has not seen that video.
I haven't. You're going to have to show me that.
Okay,
later.
let's do one more
What's some
out
more
and then
outs?
let's see. Okay. I mean, there's a lot that to me have been out for a while. Cry It Out has been out, y'all. If you're still letting your kids cry it out, that's been out.
That's if my child's crying, you know, and I understand, to each their own. Okay, if you do that, I'm not judging you. I'm just saying it's definitely not for me, because if
there's
my
ways to
child
not
is
do that.
crying, that is her only way. That's her only form of communication to tell me that something is wrong, that she's uncomfortable, that something's not right. So for me to sit and ignore that and be like, in a couple minutes she'll settle, would make me feel bad. That's just my personal opinion.
I just feel like, so I've been a mom to a lot of kids now, that there are other ways to, let's say you want to sleep train. I've sleep trained all my children. I'm not allowed to
Yup.
co-sleep as a foster parent. And I haven't had to let them cry it out. Like there's other ways to help your child. I just think there is. And so like,
I agree.
Yeah,
Let's
I
do
just-
another one. Trying to do less TV is great.
oh, that's a big one.
We got a Tony's box from Sam's, and it is one of Boston's favorite things on the planet.
Those are incredible, all of them. So we have a Yodo now. We used to have the Tony's box, but Bear's older, so we've transitioned to Yodo, and it is amazing. I suggest it for all of your kids. He can listen to like kid podcasts, books, make our own books. It is amazing. When Boston gets older, that's when you're gonna want. He'll like carry it around. It's like
Does he have one of the minis?
He has a
I
mini.
love Yoda. We've had a Yoda for 2 years.
I knew he would. I
Listen,
literally knew he would.
Everybody right now, go get a Yoda. It will change your life. It is so.
It is.
Like, just the selection that they have now is phenomenal. We got the Little Women card,
Yes.
which like that was one of my brother's favorite like movies. We watched the movie in the 90s, you know, with what's her name, Winona Ryder. Yeah, and so I didn't know they remade that in 2019. By the way, you better believe after we listened to that,
It was so good.
watched
we rented and watched it, dude. I was
good.
like, Amanda was blatantly crying on the couch. I was leaned back with my arms crossed, keeping the tears in my eyes. It was so well done, but like the selection is so great, and like our kids can listen to the Narnia series, and like it's
Yes.
fostered such a love of reading and such a love of like, it's like every night that I have my kids, each one gets to pick what they're going to listen to fall asleep to. And I know they're falling asleep to like an audiobook, or they're falling asleep to something uplifting, and like they love listening to Yoda daily at the
Yes,
breakfast
Bear
table.
too.
Yeah, at the breakfast table.
Oh,
yeah,
fun.
they have like different segments every morning, like jokes or
cute.
facts about the world. It's like, dude,
Yeah.
Get a Yodo player. It is so
Yeah,
worth
that's
it.
actually like we have like me and Paige were making a list of them our favorite baby products. I should have put that on the Yodo, but also the Tonys.
Yeah.
Like just not having
they're
the screen, but they're still
age-specific.
listening. Well, the Yodo does have one for younger kids,
Oh.
too, or books for younger kids too. Our kids are just older, so we have older books. But
Boston likes having the character. He's big on figurines.
Yeah, no,
so the
that's
Tony's box has like
very
a little
visual.
character, and he can
Yeah.
choose. Like Mr. Incredible
and
is
it's soft,
his current favorite.
right? So if he drops it, no, the box
No.
isn't it a little bit soft?
I mean, but it's
Yes.
not like
It's got like the gel stuff on
Yes.
it, doesn't it? Yeah, so
Yeah.
it's impact
mine
resistant.
does not.
Like if you drop it, it's not gonna break.
No, it won't break.
what I'm saying,
But
like,
it's like foamish, I guess.
Yeah, that's what I'm
kind of
saying.
a little
That's
bit,
what I'm
but not like
Thank
it.
you for validating what we were just saying.
Oh my God, Ben! I'm gonna throw this.
3 no's and
mic
then, oh yeah,
stand.
you're right. Yeah. Paige.
We highly
but it's
recommend
not,
those, you guys, for your kids.
mushy.
Yeah.
It's still hard on the corner.
But I like both. We have had the Yoda. No, now I can't even talk. The Tonys as well. When Bear was little, it's awesome. But once you go Yoda,
Yeah, you don't go back.
it's amazing. All right, guys. So we're gonna wrap that up. We had a huge list of ins and outs. So those were some important ones we wanted to touch on. But we are excited because we have a new segment for season 2.
Like
This is
all
gonna-
the time.
Yes, it's gonna be Dad's perspective with Daddy Jay.
Hi guys.
So Jay is not our assistant.
Yeah, just to clarify
He posted some videos that were just funny, but I wanted people were like, "Is Jay gonna be there with y'all assisting?" I'm like, "No," and y'all loved Jay, so Jay is now has his own segment.
Oh.
So hello, Jay.
Hello, Jay. What do you want to talk about today?
Wait, I just went blank. Hold on.
You're fine. So I love it.
It happens to the
Wait,
best
hold
of
on.
us.
This is his first time you guys doing the segment, so you know.
It is. So I wanted to talk about. I know. Yeah, I like the way that y'all started this segment talking about 2024 and like goals. I know we're gonna have a little party for
Yes,
vision
we
boards
are.
and stuff. But I guess my question is for 2024, do you and your partner set goals for the family and then for y'all in a relationship?
We definitely do. We definitely set family goals. So like we've already talked about it, me and Chris. We would like to. We traveled a lot last year, but we want to travel even more this year. We have that flexibility with Bear being homeschooled, and so at least somewhere we're going somewhere every single month. That's one. Getting outside was one family goal. Spending more time for me and Chris, a date night. We are really bad about that. Like having my mom or a babysitter watch the kids is like super important to us. And then personal goals. We each have personal goals. I won't share his, but we definitely have. I think that is kind of important.
We really don't.
No?
Now that I'm thinking about it, like we talk like,
Yeah.
here and there about different things that we want to do. Cause like we definitely have talked about like more date nights. It's definitely important to us. Just like focusing a little bit more on family and stuff, but it's not like we sat down and like curated a list or even like talked about it more than just in natural passing.
I didn't really make a list. I think we were
Yeah.
just like,
This is what we're going to
in
do.
like we sit down every month and do a monthly, like what's on our calendar. And so we're like, okay, well, where are we going this month? Like, and that's kind of what we've been doing.
I think it's because you're very structured. Like
yeah.
I'm a very structured. If it doesn't, I know you.
I'm
are.
type A personality.
If it's not on the calendar, it doesn't happen in our family. But interesting enough, this week when we were here, obviously here in Dallas, and I didn't put my doctor's appointment on the calendar, and Kyle's like, "What's going on here?" And I was like, "I have no idea. I've been so busy."
I knew. He texted me when it was. I was like, Jay, your appointment's at 3.
I thought I was texting Kyler. I texted her.
Jay literally has a calendar. Like memo, like we're gonna go to Vegas in April. He has sent me his itinerary
Yeah,
to
me
my
too.
calendar.
When we have a family, a large family, so we have obviously we're a family of 7. It does take.
There's a dog.
There's a cute ass dog. I apologize.
So fluffy.
Our new studio, you guys has like dogs.
It's
Yeah.
pet friendly. This is the most beautiful
It's
studio
beautiful.
ever. It's called Habitat Commons in Plano. If you guys are looking for a place for like a workspace, they are renting workspaces out, and it is gorgeous in here.
Yeah, and he was explaining the system. This is not an ad plug, but like,
Yeah, it's not an ad.
I've always wanted to do a concept like this in business. This is part of like the Revolution Coffee Empire plan, but like, I'm going to steal his idea where the rent that you pay also constitutes credits to use services around the space. I
Heck
think that's
yeah.
brilliant, dude.
Yeah.
That's so smart. So yeah,
Anyway, sorry, Jay.
Yeah,
sorry,
you
Jay.
go ahead. Sorry,
No,
Jay.
it's okay.
So-
So yes, if it's not on the schedule, it doesn't happen. But Kyler and I am a vision board type of guy. I have vision boards from like years ago, and I remember weight loss has always been on there and kids. And I think my vision board 2-3 years ago always had kids, and like to have a couple of years ago, I had love, and then I found that, and then I had kids, and now we have kids, right? And so I tell Kyler, we haven't done anything official or put it on paper, but it's like, what are the goals that we want to accomplish, or what are some things that we want to change this year? Because I think it's so important, like in the beginning of the year, to set those goals for your children, for yourself. And so Kyler and I, what we talked about is more time with the kids, like quality time. I feel like there's a lot of like parent, dad, mom guilt of not spending enough time. Like people, some of my friends tell me, oh, y'all are always together. And I'm like, but I want to make sure that it's quality time, both as a family and then individually. I have 5 kids, so individually getting each child, either both Kyler and I with one child, or Kyler with one child, me with one child, and going out on dates and stuff. That's something that's super big for us that we want to do. No phones. Obviously, we do social media, but no phones, just being with the children. And then as a couple of going on dates. So me and Kyler really need to go on dates because sometimes at the end of the day, we're just literally sitting there on the bed, on our phone scrolling, or just quiet, because we're trying to unwind from such a long day. And so we're trying to spend time together and then also separately. So what can Kyler go do? I mean, my therapy is like a massage, a facial, and shopping. So I'm trying not to shop this
Retail
much this year.
therapy.
But
I'm big on that one.
that's our goal, is having couples time but separate time as well, right? Because you kind of have to recharge. And then as a couple, what are we doing to keeping all of that together? Because if we're both not on sync, how are these goals going to be really accomplished?
I love that. I feel like quality is, like, in general, like a really strong word for 2024. Like more quality in things you're buying, not, over consuming. More quality in your family, more quality in the things you're listening to and putting out into the world, and time, and into your people that love you. I love that. I really do need date nights too.
That is the word of the year.
You're really good about doing one-on-one time with your kids.
I try, and I feel guilty because we started it and we were going to do every month, we were going to do a child, and then we got really busy, and then the holidays came and we haven't done that. And so I told Kyler, we really need, for me, it's like, if it's not on the calendar, it doesn't happen. So it's not on the calendar.
Just
so
schedule it now.
We haven't done it. And so I tell him, we need to sit down and plan our months. We have our vacations already planned for the year. And so I'm like, we need to sit down and really plan the time that we're going to do. And some people might say, oh, that's really cold. You have to pencil in your children, or you have to pencil in a relationship. But it's like, when you're a family of 7 and you work full time, that's like 2 jobs, and then you do social media. That's basically 3 jobs at one point. And so sometimes you have to pencil everything in. Even sometimes, like, oh, me and Kyler are rolling the hay.
It just helps you stay organized. Like for me, I'm a list girl. Like in order to get things done, I need a list, or I need it on the calendar, because my brain won't remember otherwise. I'm just too busy. So I agree with you on that. That's a great idea.
Lists are definitely pivotal. I myself have identified that, like, I will say this, I have so much going on, and what really helped me, like, put everything in perspective is I was supposed to interview somebody for the coffee shop last weekend, and we were going to interview on Friday. Friday rolled around, I had something come up. I'm like, so sorry, man, can we push it to Saturday? And then Saturday rolled up, and I started my day with just a lot of chaos, and I completely forgot about the interview. And I emailed the guy that night, and I was like, dude, I'm so sorry that I missed the interview again. Like, can we reschedule to tomorrow? I had some stuff come up today. And he was like, I'm not really interested in working for you anymore. And that was a gut check. He was totally in the right. I screwed up completely. And I was like, dude, I have to write everything down. Like, I've got the coffee shop. I've got the coffee shop in Alaska. I've got the podcast. I've got videos. I've got homeschooling. Like, I'm a tutor in our homeschool group. So I was just like,
it's a lot.
He's also a videographer.
Yeah. Penciling in, like, you have to make time for your kids. Like, my kids and I started a D&D campaign together 2 weeks ago, but we haven't been able to touch it since because we've been busy. And I have to schedule that, because it's not because my kids aren't important. It's because my kids are important that I will schedule that. They're not allowed to be an afterthought after I've done everything that's planned. They need reserved time. And I'm sure that's exactly what you're saying. They deserve reserved time on your schedule. You are busy, and the life that you give them is afforded to them by the work that you do. And in that same vein, you will prioritize them the same way you prioritize making a living and providing. So I love that, dude. That's so great.
I think that you just have to be very intentional and say what is important, or what is it that we're trying to accomplish, and be very intentional with your time, whether it's for you, for yourself, because obviously we're pouring into our children, so it has to be a full cup. And then intentional with the things that you're going to do with your children, the quality time, because we can all sit around the couch and everyone's on their phone or they're on their tablets. And it's like, oh, well, we hung out the whole evening, but it's like, did we really talk? Did we converse? Was it a quality time where it was one-on-one, or it was a game night or teaching them something? It's like, no, we were all kind of...
Yeah. I think it's like time to bring back those Thursday night family game nights. Like I remember being a kid and my friend was like, oh, I can't do it Thursday, I have family game night. And I'm like, oh yeah. Or I get to pick dinner that night. Like that's something that I was telling her I want to bring back. Like Bear can choose dinner Thursdays, play games. Like let's bring that back.
Yeah.
Like that family home evening kind of vibe, you know?
Another in.
Yeah, another in.
Family
And like
game
bring
night.
back those calendars on your desk too, you know? The big ones that you can like see it. I love that, Jay. That's such a great idea.
It's interesting because when you say calendar, I'm like, does that go with my house?
No, yeah.
But
Is it beige?
well, you know, some
He's
people
gray.
when they
He's
see
gray
my house,
dad aesthetic.
When people see my house, they're like, "Oh wow, there's no pictures, there's nothing," and it's like, in my house, if you do walk in, you do see pictures of my family, but other than that, you wouldn't know children live in my house
Until you hit the playroom.
Unless you go to the playroom,
Exactly.
and then it's like
Destroyed.
books, toys, and couches, and their playroom
Crafts
and everything.
and art,
There
yeah.
it can be colorful, but in my house, no. Their rooms, are they colorful? Yes, but in the common areas, there's no.
His gray dad aesthetic, I think.
Yes,
It's
I
your
would say
thing.
I'm a little bit like that, but for my
Great.
children and
Great.
their home and all of that, they do. In their playroom, they do have
Gray's
that.
dads.
Yeah. So when you think of that calendar, I was like, how
Yeah.
would that work? Maybe a calendar in the playroom or in
I
my
have to have a
office?
visual one. You like your phone calendar?
I do. I
No,
like my
I
phone.
like.
I
I
like
need it
my
on the
phone
thing.
calendar.
I need
Yeah.
it on the.
I've been
planner.
looking at this. I forget what it's called. I think it's called a DAC board. I've been looking at getting one of those. They're like straight up, they're like $500, and the business will 100% buy it for me. But like, it is like an aesthetic calendar that's probably, I'm gonna get the dimensions wrong. Don't crucify me for this. It's like probably like 2 by 3, like
Okay.
3 feet by 2 feet, and you hang it on your wall, and it's beautiful. But you can have everybody's calendar on this digital calendar every day listed out. There's like the actual month calendar view, and then there's the day timeline, so you can see, and you can color code things. So like Eli's got soccer, Hudson's got t-ball.
I do that on
We got-
my.
and it's called a DAC board.
So I do that on my Amazon Home.
Yeah.
It's kind of similar, but that one's probably way nicer.
Isn't it beautiful?
me
It's
see.
super aesthetic. Yeah.
First
I have
of
the
all,
Amazon Home that I love, but that sounds even
Yeah.
better.
There's one on Etsy that is like wood frame.
Yeah, yeah. So the
that's
one
nice.
they just discontinued the non-wood frame
That
one.
looks awesome.
I'll plug
It's the
a
one you
photo
like?
of it in here. Yeah.
What is it called again?
DAC
That
board.
is a-
DAC
That
board.
is nice.
DAC board.
The DAC
We can
board.
put one right here. DAC board. Just kidding.
Yeah, but you just kind of like you have to say, and I'm with you on the gray aesthetic. My wife handles the entire aesthetic of our home. In my previous home before we got married, no pictures on the wall.
Oh my
like
God.
it was.
I'm
yeah.
a picture collage
Jay's
on
gonna have that
every
next
wall.
week. The DAC board.
Well, it's $1,000. So
Yeah, that one was $1,000.
Yeah,
That's
well, they've got other
Never
versions
mind,
that
guys.
are not $1,000. Yeah, they also I think they sell like a caster that you can cast to any sort of display screen that you have. So the DAC system, the DAC brain can plug into like a TV or something like that. So, yeah, great.
I love it.
So
What
it's
else,
interesting
Jay?
because you said that. So my old house when we lived in Phoenix was very French country, and I had a huge wall, and it had like 50 things on there, pictures and stuff.
Oh, yeah, that was
But
a
when we
big thing.
moved to Lubbock, I wanted to simplify, and it's not. I mean, I do like the modern aesthetic and stuff, but I want to simplify because I feel like we always have a lot of clutter.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, a
so
lot of
clutter
kids.
can cause chaos, and then when you are structured with 5 kids, you can't have a lot of. I mean, there's already chaos as
Oh,
it is,
yeah.
and so sometimes clutter can even mentally, for me.
You know how I get.
mentally,
But like even for your kids, I
cannot
know like
clutter.
there's adults now. They're like, my house was so cluttered, and now I could never have that. Like to me, I also have to keep a clean house for the kids.
Yes.
And don't get me wrong, normal house is normal, but like too much, I feel like overstimulates everybody's brain.
I think
that's
that-
how I felt after Christmas.
Right. I
Yes.
think that there has to be a balance because my dad was very white glove, would check the furniture to make sure that there was no dust. And then he would get on his hands and knees under the fridge and say, we need to sweep them up before bed. And our house had to be spotless. So
That's
now
why
as a
yours is-
parent, Kyler and I talk about I need to backtrack and not give my children that.
Yeah.
I want to be a happy medium. My house is pretty
But
clean.
you're very aware of like,
Yes, so I'm trying
Yeah.
not to be so that, but I know that my children like, Daddy Jay, you made a mess, and I'm like, oh wow. So they're starting to know that I like it nice and clean and
Yeah.
stuff. But I think that I just lost my train of thought.
It happens to
Alright.
dads too.
Dad brain is what it's called.
we know, mom brain, dad brain.
Yeah, man.
We know.
Because I think what you're saying though, Jay, is a great reminder for all of us. You know.
Yeah.
prioritize the things we want this year, people that we want in our lives this year.
Yeah, and I remember now. So the simplification, because even if you think like if your house, if you can simplify and declutter, that also frees up some time with your children and then also with your kids. If you have so much toys, so much things, I mean, you're really wasting your money and not focused on quality things.
Yeah.
So now with toys, that's one of the things is this year is we're kind of simplifying a little
It
bit.
is in. Simplifying is
yes,
in.
is saying the certain toys that we have, what are they teaching the kids or what is the experience behind it? Not just, oh, it's a toy. Now, don't get me wrong, they have Barbies, they have toys that they can just play with that there's, you know, just fun toys.
Right.
But then it's like, what is the quality message behind it so we can do it? And then simplifying it allows us to be able to just hang out with the kids and not be so overwhelmed in such a hectic life.
Yeah, I love it.
During Christmas, we always box up like an old box of toys.
Same with
And one of
us.
the things, even though Boston doesn't fully understand, I'm still trying to teach a habit here. And I'll be like, you know, Santa's going to bring us toys, but we have to give toys to other kids
the
for
same.
him to give to us. So we go through the things that he's no longer playing with before we replace things. We'll do it around his birthday too, because I mean, they
love
just get so much shit.
Yeah.
They get so much at birthdays, at Christmas from family members.
Yes.
You buy them things that you think is cool, and then like you go into a playroom and you're just like, first of all, where are all the pieces to this? This is not even functional anymore. And then there's a million different little figurines and all their people, and it's just, it can become so overwhelming.
These are people ask me like, why do you send all the stuff home with the children who leave you, all of my foster kids? And I'm like, could you imagine my house 12 kids later?
Yeah.
Absolutely not. Go ahead and fill that house up because we're going to get more. So,
As well as you
And
always send
definitely.
them with it
Yeah,
so that they
always.
have it.
well, it's theirs.
It's
Yeah.
their stuff.
That's
So imagine
their
it's like,
stuff.
so you were here in my house, and I went and took you to
bought
buy
you
you this. But then, oh, you're leaving. Oh, well, no, you gotta stay. Keep this here. It's like, that's
Yeah.
like,
No.
I'm over here.
No,
No, this
you're
picks
banging
up our
the-
sound.
Yeah,
Well, at least I'm not holding the microphone and rattling.
I think if you could hear it.
Oh, yeah, he can't hear.
Headphones.
He doesn't know.
Anyways, but yeah. Hey, thank you, Jay.
Thank you,
You're
Jay.
welcome.
Are y'all excited for this segment? We're so excited for Jay
Yeah.
to come.
If you have like some like juicy thing you want Jay to talk about, you guys can
Yes.
message him on his Instagram. Well, guys, I guess you're gonna have to wait till next week.
We'll hit you
Yes,
that with
we'll
that
see y'all
later.
soon.
Bye, Jay.
Bye, Jay.
Bye, Jay.
Well, this was a
Season
good
2.
one. We're back
We're back. We're going to be here every Tuesday.
every Tuesday.
on all platforms, baby.
They drop pretty early too.
They do. They drop early in the morning so that you can listen on the way to work, with your coffee in the
Yeah.
morning, whatever you're doing.
If you're not subscribed, please subscribe on YouTube, on all the podcast networks, and then follow us on Instagram.
Or TikTok.
Or TikTok.
We're all over there. The podcast has one. We have individual ones. Come hang out.
All right, guys, this was really fun today. And as always, keep those giggles going.
And the love flowing.
And until next time, Mom knows best.
Or at least she's trying her best.
Cheers. We are. Bye, guys.